What about strength? What if you lack core strength? The inability to maintain a tight midline while you're deadlifting. I would say that definitely can contribute. I would say also all the things I just talked about before this. You know, you sitting, having to drive 45 minutes to work, sit behind a computer desk all day, and then drive 45 minutes back. Okay, those little micro traumas over time lead to that, you know, macro traumatic injury that, you know, sets you back for quite a while. I put 250 pounds in the bar, nice position, stand it up. 300 pounds in the bar, do this. So I would say my max core strength would be at 250 pounds. That would be the most objective measure because it's the ability to maintain midline at a certain weight. Now it's kind of a vague answer because there's a lot of other different metrics that we'll actually explore later on how to determine core strength, but that's one of the easiest, okay? So whenever you're in class and you're really lifting with great form, and then all of a sudden you get to that one weight and you really start rounding, well, I'd say that your limiting factor is probably actually your core, okay? So we'll definitely look at that. There's one really interesting diagram that I want you guys to turn to if you do have your books. It looks like this, okay? So if you're sitting next to a buddy with a book, I want you to pull it out right now. Now, this little diagram right here, what it illustrates is percentage of disc pressures, okay? So if you look at this one that's shaded right here, it shows a person that's standing erect, okay? And when a person's standing erect like that, 100%, there's 100% disc pressure, okay? Now, if you look at the one right next to it, if a person just bends over like this, that increases to 150%, okay? And then you add a little bit of load, okay? I think the load is around like 25 pounds, that increases to 220%. Now, the thing that's way more alarming, in my opinion, is the person sitting with perfect posture. Sitting with perfect posture has 140% of pressure on the discs, okay? So even if you're doing everything right in a chair, you're having that much increase of pressure. And it's because when you're standing, one of the benefits of standing is that you're also incorporating the joints below the sacrum, okay? But when you're sitting, you're locked in. So it doesn't matter how mobile your legs are, it doesn't matter, because all of that pressure is now increased on your spine. So if you look at the next one over, it increases to 185% in a slouch posture. So again, that kind of goes to my point of if you're sitting behind a computer desk all day long, you have that much increased pressure on your discs. So your chance of injury is that much higher. Spine health is something that's really important for you guys to understand now, okay? How many people over here are over 40? Okay, so 2, all right? How many over 50? Okay, so you guys are still young, okay? Now, imagine all the stress that you're putting on your back now in your 20s and your 30s, and you continue to do that into your 40s, into your 50s. Because the guys, as you get older, these spaces get more narrow. There's nothing you can do about that. They're just naturally going to get smaller and smaller. So if you have any of these little issues here, so like when you're, you know, in your 30s, if you have like a little disc bulge, okay, that may not give you any problems at all, but as these spaces start to narrow, then this starts to become an issue, okay? And that's why it's important that, you know, if you're working out a lot and you kind of get this like chronic low back pain, if you don't take care of it now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, that can become a real issue, okay? Because about 50 years old for males is when the most low back surgeries happen. All right, guys, let's go head downstairs so we can get right into it.